2017, what a year, alright? Not just in anything. I'm here to talk about music of 2017. And in my opinion, a lot of shit music came out this year, and it was kind of disappointing that a lot of people enjoyed it. And if you like it, that's your thing. But there are very few projects that came out this year that I even had any motivation to listen to or even acknowledge that they existed. Some of them I tried to listen to, and about 3 seconds into the first track, I wanted to scoop my eyes out with a soup spoon. But despite this being a terrible year for a lot of things, there is still a lot of good things that came out of it, and music definitely had some good things come out, and a lot of singles that came out I enjoyed, a lot of projects, and I'm here to talk about my top 10 favorite albums / projects that came out this year, alright? And this isn't limited to one genre of music, despite most of them on here being hip-hop, because obviously I like listening to hip-hop more than other genres, but yeah. So, here to start off my list is number 10 with Cold Pizza by Marty Grimes. Alright, so I found Marty Grimes because of G-Eazy, and as many of you may know, G-Eazy is one of my favorite artists, and when I checked this guy out, I was not disappointed. Sure, some of his songs are but I definitely enjoyed Cold Pizza. There were a couple songs on that I've constantly listened to, main one being Cellular, and I really enjoyed that album, and it didn't have many flaws. I liked the whole vibe at the end of each song where it's like he's showing his buddy the songs in the studio, and I dig that. I always dig those little voice interludes at the end of songs or in the middle of them, and it just gives a cool little vibe that they, you know, were showing people this music before they released it, and that it was, you know, everybody's human, and that not every song is perfect, but it's still music. Number 9 for me is American Teen by Khalid. And this year Khalid blew up. Like I didn't know who this guy was. I don't know if he had like a SoundCloud or anything, but he dropped this album and he blew up instantly. And I'm very envious of that, but man's got talent. Like, insane talent. But surprisingly, the one song that he blew up for, Location, I didn't enjoy that much. I enjoyed all the other songs on the album. The only other one that I had an exception for was Winter, and Winter was just for me. I really enjoyed 18 and Another Sad Love Song, and I just really enjoyed that album despite those two songs those two songs being iffy for me. My next on the list was Bloom by MGK, Machine Gun Kelly. And I just want to start off by saying that this album is the only album by Machine Gun Kelly that I've fully listened to, because I only started listening to him this year. Same with a lot of other artists. And Bloom was pretty good. I mean, some of the songs on it were iffy, but that's why it's not further up on my list, because it was an album, but it was still awesome. And I enjoyed what's the name of the one? Can't remember the name of most of the songs on the album, because I haven't listened to it since like August. The only one I've been listening to constantly was The Breakup, and I don't even know if that was on the album when the album released, but don't quote me on that because I'm not positive. Number 7 is Perception by NF. Now, NF is a rapper that a lot of people, I mean a lot of people and rappers like to criticize, and that I can see why, but I also don't understand why, because sure, he's a rapper that's, you know, religious, but so is like 9/10 of the entire population in the entire planet. And I wouldn't label him as a Christian rapper. I just wouldn't. I mean, there are plenty of rappers that have literally put in, like, gospels in their songs. And gospels are literally songs to God. And Let You Down, that song was awesome. And I'm so glad that that song is still on the top 10 on Spotify right now. And his new single, No Name, I love it. And I love all this guy's music. I've listened to every single one of his songs. And I loved it a lot. And I'm glad that he's finally getting the recognition he deserves. Number 6 is Everybody by Logic. Now, Logic is a rapper that not a lot of people like to talk about. Because he talks too much about being biracial. And I can definitely see why that's annoying. Because by the looks of it, he is one white ass motherfucker. And he's dropping N-bombs, and I can see why that can get annoying. But, despite all that, I enjoyed Everybody. I enjoyed that album a lot. And the fact that Neil deGrasse Tyson was on the album gave me a hardcore nerd boner, because, man, do I love me some Neil deGrasse Tyson. Number 5, No Shame by Hopsin. Now, Hopsin is also a very controversial rapper that not a lot of people like to talk about either. And for many reasons, I see why. I honestly do. And nobody's flawless. Nobody has a completely spotless track record in their music. And I can see why not a lot of people like him. But I myself do, as you can see by the apparel. I enjoyed No Shame. I stayed up till midnight to listen to this album, and I wasn't disappointed. Now, I may not have agreed with some of the things that he was saying, or how some of the things he dealt with on the album, with the whole being banned from Australia and not being able to see his kid and stuff. And as a YouTuber that I just got into, Sean C, said, he just didn't deal with it right. And some of the songs on this album I just don't go back to, but other songs I repeatedly play all the time. And I really liked the album, despite some of the songs being pretty meh. And I wasn't disappointed. I'm glad that album came out. Now, number 4 is Kendrick Lamar's Damn. And everybody either hated or loved this album. At least all the people I've met. I don't get out a lot. But I thoroughly enjoyed that album, and I was one of the guys that I heard Humble and then didn't listen to the album for like 6 months. I heard Humble and DNA, and I digged it, and I listened to other songs of Kendrick Lamar, but I kept putting off listening to the actual album. And now, the rest of the songs on the album weren't as memorable for me, but I still really enjoyed them, and it was a good album. And he was also the reason I got into J. Cole, and J. Cole's like one of my favorite rappers now. And yeah, I just really enjoyed Damn. Number 3 is Ed Sheeran's Divide. And man, did that album speak to me. Oh my god, I loved it so much. You don't even know, man. Oh my god. That album, it broke my heart. It healed it. I just loved it. I'm finally glad that Ed Sheeran, is like blowing up on like an entire, like on a global scale. Like, I started listening to him when he was just a kid with a guitar. When 5 came out, and then when Ad, or however you would say when that came out, I found him by the song Lego House, and that song it has a special place in my heart. And that album, Divide, was phenomenal in my opinion, and I can't wait to see what Ed Sheeran does in the future. Number 2 for me is Still Striving by A$AP Ferg. And I didn't start listening to A$AP Ferg until like October. Like I had heard a couple songs by him, but I had never like actually sat down and took the time to like think about listening to his music and listening to his album. little did I know that that would literally cause me to listen to all of the songs. And Still Striving is possibly one of my favorite hip-hop albums ever made, and I really enjoyed it. And Plain Jane, that's why I started listening to it, because of that song. And that song was really good, because I loved the song that he borrowed the hook from. I can't remember the name of it, but I loved that song so much. And when I heard Plain Jane, and then I started listening to the other songs on this album, like Mattress Remix and Rubber Band Man and all those other songs, I couldn't get enough of it. And when Snoop Dogg showed up, I was just, ugh. And speaking of Snoop Dogg, I know he released an album this year. I haven't listened to it yet, and I need to listen to it before I can, say it's on my top 10 albums of the year. Now, number 1 is The Beautiful and Damned by G-Eazy. And now, not a lot of people like to really talk about G-Eazy. They say he's like a whack rapper and that he's very repetitive and stuff, but this album was different. Like, all of his older music, other than his past projects from when he was just a SoundCloud rapper, really, like When It's Dark Out, I didn't really enjoy When It's Dark Out. Like, I listened to a couple songs on it, but the rest of it was everything was okay. Some of the songs that he's made have either been awesome, meh, or god-awful. And The Beautiful and Damned was different. Only one song on this album I didn't like. And it's not that I didn't like it, it's just that the chorus was awful. The song itself was alright, but the chorus was awful. And that was goddamn. And I just couldn't listen to it. But every other song on the album, I couldn't get enough of it. And I even got the CD. I literally only own like 4 CDs, and this is one of them. And G-Eazy has got to be my top 10 rappers of all time, even if he's, not the greatest or the fastest or the most lyrical or whatever. It's just that this album spoke to me, and I love that it brought some change. Sure, there were a couple songs where we were still talking about bitches, hoes, and whatever, but every rapper has a song when they do that. But with Halsey and him, like, finally, opening up his eyes and talking about other things other than just that, and experimenting with duality, where he was separating his two alter egos, because he's a Gemini and this, that, and the other thing. And I loved it. And I still can't stop listening to it. I've been listening to it, like, I've gone every single day since that album came out where I've at least listened to one of his songs on that album. And, yeah, I love that album, and I don't think I'll ever stop loving it. Alright, honorable mentions. My honorable mentions are Come Over When You're Sober Part 1 by LilPeep, By Any Means 2 by Kevin Gates, and Gemini by Macklemore. Now, these weren't in my top 10 because I stopped listening to Macklemore for quite a long time, and I only found out who LilPeep was after he died, and I felt horrible because his music is really good, and I'm so mad that I didn't listen to it before he died, because I'm just one of those kind of people that feels like if I do one little thing, it'll make a difference. But yeah, rest in peace, LilPeep. But Kevin Gates, By Any Means 2, I heard that he just got out of jail recently, and I'm hoping that his life will get better and he'll drop some awesome music. And I can't wait. But yeah, that's my top 10 albums / projects of 2017 and 2018. Don't disappoint me, please. Oh my god, Lil Pump made me want to fucking die this year.